missing. Officers finally located her in an area where her cell phone last pinged. Mobley is in the hospital with a fractured back.
Well, when you go to bed tonight, you may realize it has been a long day, and with good reason. The day will be 1 second longer. Uh-oh. Well, a leap second is added at 8 p.m. our time. The International Time Arbiters at the Paris Observatory are doing this. Now, the purpose is to align the official world time, guarded by an atomic clock, to the rotation of the Earth. Yes, it is. Very neat. Well, still ahead at 6, more headaches for UVA. A former member of the swim team files a federal lawsuit over alleged hazing.
Plus, the Pope is coming to the U.S. in a few months. Now we're getting an idea of what he'll be doing when he gets here.
At Nissan of Richmond, get $5,000 off MSRP on a 2015 Nissan Rogue.
Why are we watching this again?
I pay for all these channels, so I make myself watch them all.
Joey, I'll watch anything except this. Except this. Go back. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back.
Fios Custom TV lets you pay for the types of channels you want, not the ones you don't. 100% fiber optics is here. Get out of the past. Get Fios. Now for $79.99 a month. Go online or call.
Here at Haley Buick GMC in Midlothian, we love to give. Whether we're giving back to the community or giving you the best car buying experience around. We're even giving away a new car. There's a lot of giving going on around here.
Give it up, Mike. Haley has it. Oh, yeah.
Now give it back. Record yourself singing the Haley Has It jingle and enter to win at HaleyAuto.com. I'm your Haley Has It guy signing off from Haley Buick GMC at the corner of Moorfield and Midlothian.
Haley has it.
Save big. Save now. The 4th of July sales event at your local Ford dealer. Amazing deals on American ingenuity, legend, toughness. It's why more people search, buy, and buy Ford again. This is the event. This is the time. Get into America's best-selling brand. Get 0% financing for 60 months and up to $1,500 cash back. Plus, military members, even retirees and veterans get $750 more for up to $2,250 total cash back. Hurry, ends July 6th.
Count on Griffith Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. For a limited time, get an instant rebate of up to $1,100 on a qualifying system or get 0% APR for 36 months. Call Griffith Heating and Cooling today to find out more.
There's nothing like it.
There is nothing like
Virginia Repertory Theater presents Rodgers and Hammerstein's South Pacific. Tickets at virginiarep.org.
On your side, Central Virginia's #1 news team. This is NBC 12 News.
Breaking now at 6, police swarm a Richmond neighborhood and wind up using tear gas to bring a standoff with a woman to an end. We're live with new information.
We'll have a live report from that scene in a moment, but first, many of you are under a severe thunderstorm watch. Meteorologist Jim Duncan is here with what you need to know. Jim.
Yeah, we are under that watch here in Richmond as well. I'll show you in a second, but we have had some severe storms this afternoon. The one out in the Middle Peninsula is now out over the Chesapeake Bay, so that's moving away toward the actually the eastern shore. And then we have this one we're watching pretty closely down out of Lunenburg County, moving towards southern Prince Edward and Nottoway County. Fairly small, but packing a punch. Could be some really strong wind gusts out of this. This did produce severe storm warnings out in Charlotte County about 40 minutes ago. It's now from Victoria northward to Route 360 as you get up into Prince Edward County. Some hail reported in this storm as well. We'll take a quick check of our hail tracker, and it indicates some moderate-sized hail coming out of Lunenburg County and crossing to the northeast, so something to watch for down there. Bottom line is it's tracking pretty quickly to the northeast at around 25 miles per hour north and northeast. We'll bring it through Crew at around 6:15. Maplewood area probably around 6:43. It's a small storm. Don't let that deceive you. It could produce pretty strong winds, really heavy rainfall as well. A broader area of some scattered showers down here around Carr Lake, Lake Gaston, moving to the northeast as well. We'll bring that through South Hill area by 6:18. Danieltown by 6:50, so we'll watch that and see if that strengthens anymore. And here is the watch. The severe thunderstorm watch goes until 10 p.m. for central and south central Virginia, until 9 o'clock for the western Piedmont areas. But for Richmond, we're again under that watch until 10 p.m. I'll have more in your hour-by-hour forecast for the evening and into the holiday weekend coming up.
All right, we'll check back. Thanks, Jem. And don't forget, you can track storms, alerts, and lightning in your neighborhood. Just download the free NBC 12 First Warning Weather app. It's free in your device's app store.
And back to this breaking news out of Richmond. A large police presence had many of you calling the newsroom.
This was the scene on Chamberlain Avenue where part of the road was blocked off this afternoon. Ashley Montfort is live there now with the latest. Ashley, what's going on?
I'll tell you what, just a few minutes ago, police and firefighters left the scene here, but they had been here since about noon. The call came in for a mental health call in this apartment building on Chamberlain Avenue. Now, take a look at some of the video we shot earlier today. Police say a woman was threatening social service workers and herself. The social service workers had come to check on her, and that's why police were called. When officers got here, the social service workers got out, but the woman remained inside. Police say she continued to make threats. Negotiator was called in and talked to the woman for 2 hours. Police say they asked her to step outside so they could check on her, but she continued to make those threats. That's when police say the SWAT team was called in to use tear gas. Now, once the woman was out, she was checked by emergency crews and is now in the hospital being evaluated. Coming back live here now, police say at this point there are no charges. They just want to make sure the woman is okay. That's why she's been sent to the hospital. On your side in Richmond, I'm Ashley Montfort, NBC 12 News.
Thanks, Ashley. New at 6, lighting a fire under a non-responsive landlord may require court action if you can't get the property owner to step up and make repairs. But there are steps you should take before deciding whether to take your case before a judge. On your side, investigator Diane Walker joining us now with tips that may help if you have a similar problem. New at 6.
Chris, you pay your rent on time, take care of the property, and your landlord has a legal responsibility to provide you a safe and livable home. When that doesn't happen, that's when the tenant calls 12. Trouble found its way inside Carlita and Theron Edwards' apartment in the form of rain.
The water was all over the floor, and the ceiling fan was spinning with the light on, and the water was just coming gushing through. So when I stepped on the floor, I was barefooted. And I was pleading the blood of Jesus because I know electricity and rain do not mix.
After 2 days of hard rain, they claim signs of damage to their property are showing up.
My furniture stinks now after the rain. They ain't offered to clean it or give me any money for my computer.
The property manager did send a crew who worked on the plumbing, but they believe the leaks are linked to the roof and windows.
And the ceiling fan still has water in the globe from the rain from Thursday and Saturday. So the kitchen was full of water, my living room was full of water. Someone's supposed came out Sunday to check it out. Nobody came back Sunday to check it out.
There are legal remedies. Be current in your rent. Give your landlord written notice of the problem and wait a reasonable amount of time. If the problem persists, take the notice you gave the landlord and next month's rent to General District Court. You can file what's called a rent escrow case, where you continue to pay rent but to the court until a judge decides.
If I'm paying rent on time, everything in here need to be fixed. Need to get up in the ceiling, find out if we're going to get mold or anything before it's really started getting hot, because I do want to be here. If not so, they're going to have to work something out for me to find another place.
I reached out to the property manager, and I'm getting their side of the repairs complaint also. They tell me they sent out a crew today and will send another tomorrow to check out the roof. And here's another tip. Get renter's insurance for unforeseen problems just like this. The Edwards tell me they don't have it, and they might not get reimbursed from the owners. For the On Your Side investigators, Diane Walker, NBC 12.
Thanks, Diane. We're also on your side tonight getting answers after many Petersburg residents asked us to find out why their water bills are so high. Tonight, Brent Solomon is questioning city leaders about how they're calculating water bills. And Brent, what are you learning?
Well, there are a number of issues coming into play here, but let me tell you this. When it comes to something we all need to survive, there should be no question about how your hard-earned dollars and cents are being spent.
We all got high bills, and we kind of caught us off guard.
That's why Shelley Piku wasted no time gathering her neighbors who are experiencing the same exact thing.
I think mine was like 190 something, and I was normally getting 6570.
The city of Petersburg tells me it was the result of a system error after officials installed new meters to customers across the city. Petersburg offered credits to those impacted and says the problem is now resolved. But take a look at this. Since then, even more neighbors have reached out to us, still saying their bills are too high. A lot of people are on fixed incomes. I went to Petersburg's utility billing supervisor to get answers.
And I will say, with the new meters, we are going to pick up more water than what the old meters were registering. Customers were saying that the bill was $70 and it should have been $120.
Many neighbors asked the city to bill them once a month instead of every 2 months. That should result in lower bills, but so far only half of the city has been billed for 30-day usage. For others, monthly billing won't start until July, so check your statement carefully.
If they're receiving a 2-month bill, they may be thinking it's a 1-month bill.
And get ready. For the month of July, Petersburg customers will pay about $5 extra due to a rate hike.
A little higher, but it's okay. I mean, it's not 190.
All right, Petersburg leaders tell me they've retested the meters to verify they're charging you the way they're supposed to. They also encourage you to reach out to them for conservation tips so that you won't be shocked when you get that statement in the mail. I'm on your side. Brent Solomon, NBC 12.
All right, thanks very much, Brent. From leaky ceilings to questionable water bills, we're on your side, committed to getting you answers. If there's a problem you want investigated, call our volunteers right now. They're ready to listen to your problem and help you start to find a resolution. The number to call is 345-1212. They're here until 6:30.
New information just released today about a weekend homicide in Hanover. The Hanover Sheriff's Office now confirms the victim, Craig Bates, died from a gunshot wound. He was found dead Saturday morning on the 1500 block of Mickeytown Road. Also just released photos of Bates' vehicle, an Infiniti SUV. Police are hoping these pictures help them track down Bates' killer. If you have any information that may help, call Crime Stoppers at 780-1000. Well, excessive drinking, threats, and extreme hazing, just some of the allegations coming out of the UVA swimming program. A 29-page lawsuit filed Friday in Charlottesville claims freshman Anthony Marcantonio was hazed to the point he feared for his life and left the program. Susan Bohoric has the latest on the allegations from Charlottesville.
The lawsuit alleges that this happened over a less than 2-week period at the end of August 2014. Anthony Marcantonio says he came to UVA to broaden his swimming career, but instead he says that he was threatened with sodomy, hazed, and at times feared for his life. Anthony Marcantonio was excited about joining UVA's team and thought it would help him realize his Olympic dreams. But according to this lawsuit, those dreams turned into nightmares.
He was assaulted, he was battered, he was hazed.
Marcantonio's attorney, Jonathan Rogers, says the freshman and his fellow first-year swimmers were terrorized by upperclassmen. Rogers says the young men were blindfolded, forced to grab each other's genitals, eat goldfish, and eventually locked into a bathroom and forced to drink large amounts of alcohol. Nearly 2 weeks later, the coach questioned the group, where Marcantonio says he told the truth about what happened, eventually talking to the dean of students. The suit alleges from that point, Marcantonio's career at UVA was over. He was labeled a, quote, rat, and the coach reportedly said that he was concerned for his safety.
It really denied him his career. He had to leave the University of Virginia to find a safer environment.
According to the swimming website SwimSwam, the 5 upperclassmen named in this suit were suspended from the UVA swim team in the fall. Several have reportedly left the school for other programs. Today, UVA issued a statement saying, quote, the university took prompt action to provide support services to the affected students, review the conduct, and impose discipline for violations of university policy and athletic department codes of conduct.
People don't talk about it, and I think if people were more public about it, I think more things could be done about it.
Attorney Jonathan Rogers tells me starting today, those 5 defendants will be served. They'll have 21 days to respond. Rogers tells me he hopes to have this case in front of a jury between the next 6 to 9 months. On your side in Charlottesville, Susan Bohoric, NBC 12.
Thanks, Susan. We're also staying on top of a fiery accident on 295 in Henrico. Amazingly, none of the drivers involved was hurt. Take a look at the scene early this morning. Several lanes of 295 are shut down. Right now, one northbound lane remains closed. State police say 2 tractor trailers collided near the 895 interchange. The impact caused one of the tractor trailers to catch fire. Authorities say oil and diesel fuel spilled all over the road. The cause of this crash is still being investigated. Developing now, a photo tweeted out by a TSA agent at Richmond's airport is causing quite a stir on social media. This is $75,000 in cash inside a bag. The agent considered it unusual and called airport police. The Richmond Airport spokesperson says under asset forfeiture laws, a person needs to have some kind of bill of sale or proof of explanation, basically be able to explain why you're carrying that kind of cash. In this case, the passenger was not able to, so the money is now in the hands of a federal agency. During the investigation, the passenger was not charged and was able to continue on his flight.
The Vatican released details today of Pope Francis's trip to the U.S. in September. Huge crowds are expected as he makes his stop up and down the East Coast, including Washington, D.C. Ray Daldani has a look at the schedule, new at 6.
Pope Francis will meet with President Obama, celebrate Mass, and address Congress during his 48-hour visit to Washington, D.C. in September, according to a schedule just released by the Vatican. Now, the Pope will arrive from Cuba at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland around 4 p.m. on Tuesday, September 22nd. Then the next day, he'll meet with President Barack Obama at 9:15 at the White House, and then after that, attend a midday prayer at St. Matthew's Cathedral, and then celebrate Mass at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception at 4:15. The Mass will include the canonization of Junipero Serra. The next day, Pope Francis will address Congress at 9:20, then visit St. Patrick in the City and Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Washington 11:15, before he heads to the Joint Base Andrews once again for a 5 p.m. flight to New York City. Now, the trip concludes in New York City and then followed by that in Philadelphia. You can see the full itinerary on NBC12.com. Just click on All Access. On your side, Ray Daldani, NBC12.com.
Thanks, Ray. Some here in Metro Richmond still talking about a surprise late-night visitor to their neighborhood. A black bear wandering the streets of Mosby Court. Up next, we'll tell you how this happened and where this young bear is right now.
And there's a pretty good-sized thunderstorm down here moving out of Lunenburg County into the western part of Nottoway, eastern Prince Edward County near Crewe. Moving to the northeast, I'll be tracking that and what we expect region-wide in your forecast ahead.
We're tearing it up here at Haley Ford, but it's still a great place to do business. During our construction reduction sale,
Save a ton on a beautiful new 2015 Mustang. Right now, pay only $23,499.
Or you can win a new car for free. Just sing the Haley Has a Jingle and enter to win at HaleyFord.com. Did you hear that? I'm your Haley Has It guy signing off from the soon-to-be brand-new Haley Ford.
Haley has it.
Hi, I'm Brian Mueller.
And I'm Teresa Mueller.
For over 15 years, what you do in your closet has been our business.
But remember, we do so much more.
Custom Storage provides a sense of calm and clarity while reducing stress. We create time-saving storage solutions that are custom designed, manufactured, and installed. Our design team will add beauty, function, and value to your home.
Call Closet Factory to organize every area of your home.
Because an organized closet organizes your day.
But an organized home organizes your life.
With over 200 years of combined experience, MROC and Kilduff. One call, that's all.
Stay prepared for severe storms. Download the NBC12 First Warning Weather app.
Toyota Camry has been the best-selling car in America for over a decade. It's known for being a smart choice and has a 5-star overall safety rating. Plus, Camry's bold new design and high-tech interior keeps you easily connected. Now lease a Camry for only $179 a month or buy it with 0% APR financing plus $500 Toyota Finance Cash. With Camry today, smart and reliable is more fun to drive than ever. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places.
Onandi is a graduate of ECPI University.
But just over 2 years ago, he was a high school senior and already knew what he wanted to do with his life: web development. Onandi couldn't wait 4 years to get started, so he enrolled at ECPI University, where he earned his degree in 2.5 years and is already employed as a web developer. Onandi is on the road to a career he loves.
ECPI was the best decision I ever made.
Discover web development at ECPI University, on campus or online. Go to ecpi.edu today.
It's the Williams & Fogg end of summer sale with guaranteed lowest prices. Like this new Goodman 2.5-ton heating and AC system installed for just $35.75. Good credit, bad credit, we'll finance. Call Williams & Fogg today and we'll blow the competition away.
At H.H. Gregg, the 4th of July sale is hotter than ever. Get 0 down and 0 interest till January 2018. Up to 35% off appliances. Top brands, low prices, fast delivery.
Gregg's got it!
Crooks are terrifying families with new ways to break into homes.
Never would occur to me that he could have gotten in the way he did.
Rachel DePompa is on your side, exposing how they're doing it to keep your home safe and family out of danger. Thursday at 11.
New video of an adventurous black bear getting released back into the wild. Take a look. This 150-pound male bear was captured foraging for food on the streets of Richmond.
Kelly Avellino is following this bear's tracks as he made his way around Mosby Court.
The bear was looking for food in these grassy areas down this narrow street here. You could see just how close he was to all the homes right across the street.
An unlikely visitor searches for a midnight snack, and even though he seems calm enough,
He was quiet.
he draws a crowd of excited onlookers.
I seen it get up and run down here, and we all followed it.
They were hollering about it was a bear. I thought it was a joke, and I went on, turned over, and went back to sleep.
Wildlife officials quickly arrive, subduing the bear.
The bear was tranquilized in the woods behind me. It then made its way up this road and turned the corner, heading in between these two homes. Finally, the bear slowed down about right here near this back fence.
The bear is cornered and within moments falls asleep.
1, 2, 3.
Officers from the Virginia Department of Game and Inland Fisheries carefully place the bear in a carrier.
Pull his head up and I'll get in there.
Wildlife officials tell me this is the time of year when teenage male bears leave their mothers to go off on their own. It's not uncommon for a hungry bear to follow its nose anywhere looking for an easy meal. This bear was calm, but there's no guarantee, so never feed a bear. After a checkup this morning, wildlife officers released this fellow in southeastern Virginia.
I'm glad they caught it.
It was unbelievable.
And if you spot a bear anywhere near your home, immediately call animal control. Don't go near it. On your side in Richmond, I'm Kelly Avellino for NBC 12 News.
Accurate, reliable, trusted. Central Virginia's weather specialists. This is NBC 12 First Warning Weather.
All right, big Doppler radar picture this afternoon. A couple areas of storms. One area to the southwest of Richmond. This one, now moving into the eastern shore, came through the Middle Peninsula about 45 minutes ago. It was a strong storm. It still is. They have a special marine warning out here in the eastern portion of the bay, and that will roll through the northern part of the eastern shore over the next half hour. Could be some strong wind gusts out of that there. And then closer to central Virginia, been watching two areas. This storm down here in western Nottoway now, and there's another storm just kind of forming down here to the south of South Hill. This storm in Nottoway has had a history of producing some pretty good-sized hail as was tracking from western Lunenburg, and so that is probably one of the bigger features of that, in addition to the heavy rain, of course. There could be some large hail. Here's where the core of the heaviest rain is now falling with that in western Nottoway near Crewe, right along Route 460 and 360 here, and then Burke's Tavern. Heavy rain here, and that will again continue to trek off to the east-northeast, or northeast rather, at about 25-30 miles per hour. Would bring it, if it holds together, eventually through the Skin Quarter area of Chesterfield County by a little after 7 o'clock tonight. But I think it seems to be falling apart just a tiny bit, but certainly something to keep in mind. If that maintains or strengthens, that could produce some hail and some strong gusty winds even in western Chesterfield eventually. This one to the south near South Hill will be rolling over South Hill shortly right now, as a matter of fact, and then Alberta at 657 over northern Brunswick County. And this, again, just kind of developing now, and it's right along Route 85 to the west of there near South Hill and along Route 1 and southward into North Carolina. All of the area under severe thunderstorm watches, they've been discontinued to our north now, but these watches continue for us until 10 o'clock tonight. This cold front comes in later tonight, keeps a scattered storm chance in play. I think there'll be more isolated storms here. This is 7 p.m. Our guidance here, again, showing isolated thunderstorms. Any one that forms could produce some strong, perhaps damaging wind gusts and large hail. By 9 p.m., still has some scattered storms around. After 10 o'clock, though, there'll be fewer of them around. Again, they're scattered. Not everybody will see these. Tomorrow, it's going to be a cool day to start near 70 degrees, and then highs near 90 tomorrow afternoon. Forecast tonight near 70. Some scattered evening storms. Could be a strong or severe storm in spots. Partly cloudy otherwise. 72, partly sunny tomorrow morning. 85 at noon hour. Later afternoon, about 90, 91 degrees for the high. Only a 2 in 10 chance of an afternoon storm tomorrow. Weekend forecast, Friday, 50% storm chances. A good bet for some showers and storms. 81 for the high. Then for the 4th of July, partly sunny. 30% chance of some late-day storms. I don't think it's going to be anything that will wash out most of the fireworks activities. Partly sunny for you on Sunday. Looks like a nice wrap-up to the weekend. Temperature-wise, we're talking temperatures getting cooler at the end of the week. Seasonable levels this weekend. More 12 News is coming up.
Today's weather is sponsored by Bruce's Super Body Shops. Virginia law says you have the right to choose. Choose Bruce's.
Hyundai's Summer of Savings just got better. Now through July 4th weekend, get clearance prices on our best selection of new Hyundais. Elantra, Sonata, Santa Fe, and Genesis. All clearance priced. Drive Sonata with 0 APR for 75 months. Or get up to $5,000 in total savings. All with America's best warranty. 5 years longer than the competition. Now through July 4th weekend, every new Hyundai is clearance priced. Hurry, it all ends Monday night at your Greater Richmond Hyundai dealer.
You know that you might have a foundation problem. You've been thinking about calling JES for a free inspection and estimate. And thinking. So what are you waiting for? Call the name you can trust for the foundation repair solution you need.
Since 1993, JES has fixed over 20,000 homes and businesses with foundation problems just like yours.
Make the call. Call JES today for your free inspection and estimate.
Known best for being better, JES.
Regent University understands that my time is as valuable as my education.
Which is why they offer flexible 8-week courses.
To help me reach my goals faster.
I wrote my first business plan.
I taught Emily how to read. I learned that customer service is critical to healthcare management.
I discovered how counseling serves my community.
So, what can you do in 8 weeks?
Regent University and you.
It's your time.
Richmond's #1 news, weeknights at 6:30 on CW Richmond.
This is the steam that rises from a biscuit that was just born from the oven. This is made from scratch.
The grilled pork chop biscuit, only at Hardee's.
You can have it all, and you can choose an upgrade at no extra charge. Choose to upgrade your new car with navigation, or choose the Bluetooth upgrade. Even upgrade with the leather package or remote start, all with no extra charge. Plus, you get priorities for life, oil and filter changes and state inspections for life, and your engine guaranteed for life. Choose your upgrade today. Navigation, Bluetooth, leather, remote start, and more. Only at Priority Toyota, Nissan, and VW.
What I love about Patient First is I never need an appointment to see a doctor when I'm sick or hurt.
What I love about Patient First is they're open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the year.
I love that there's always a doctor on duty, and the staff is so friendly.
They accept nearly all insurance plans.
And x-rays, lab tests, and prescription drugs are all right there.
What I love about Patient First is the name fits.
9 Richmond area medical centers. Learn more at patientfirst.com.
The Big Bag Lunch for $5.55. Pick any two to go with your fries, drink, and apple turnover. Only at Hardee's.
Well, Russell Wilson seems to take everything in stride. So as his first major contract negotiation unfolds, it's no surprise the collegiate product is, at least publicly, keeping his focus on the field. In an interview with ESPN, Wilson's saying that he'll continue to leave it all on the field this season, whether he's making $25 million or the $1.5 million he's set to make in the final year of his rookie deal. Wilson believed to be seeking a 5-year contract worth about $110 million and $50 million guaranteed. Right now, he makes less than 8 backups. The former Cougar, who has led Seattle to back-to-back Super Bowls, has 36 regular season wins, the most of any quarterback in his first 3 seasons. 1 month from today, the Redskins will hold their first open training camp practice in Richmond, and the River City has become a home away from home for the team. Head coach Jay Gruden says last year everything was great, from the facilities to the people to the equipment. But the thing that may have stood out the most, the fans.
You got a good fan base there that are coming watching, even into walkthroughs. Fans are coming out watching walkthroughs. So it's exciting. You know, I think it makes practice a little bit more exciting for guys. You know, they're competing their butts off to win a job and a starting job or just win a job on the football team. But when you have people watching, it puts the added pressure on them, which is good.
A complete list of training camp dates and times on the sports page of NBC12.com. Well, former VCU head man Anthony Grant has grabbed his first NBA gig. Grant has officially been hired as an assistant on Billy Donovan's staff with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Grant most recently the head coach at Alabama before being fired following this past season. And that is sports. We're back after this.
12 News is sponsored by Priority Automotive. Buy a car at any Priority dealership, and we'll give you priorities for life on another car in your household, no matter where you bought it.
Everybody knows you can trust a Honda.
And at your Richmond area Honda dealers, you can get a great deal on a new Accord right now.
Everything I want comes standard.
Like Bluetooth, a rear view camera, and great fuel efficiency.
With 2 kids, safety is everything.
When the Car and Driver 10 Best now comes with 0.9% financing.
Why settle for less than a Honda?
To find your new Accord, get to any one of your 4 Richmond area Honda dealers now.
At the Original Mattress Factory, you experience more than just a mattress store. You experience a unique combination of a manufacturer and retailer. This factory direct concept is what makes the Original Mattress Factory truly different and enables us to not only build you a better bed, but a better shopping experience as well. So stop by an Original Mattress near you and experience more than just a mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Buy smart at iMart Express.
I love being able to buy and wear my glasses the same day. Why would anybody wait 2 weeks?
2 pairs start at $38.71 and 2 pairs with progressive lenses just $76.92.
I got 2 pair with progressive lenses and they were ready before I could finish my lunch.
They have lots of choices at great prices. And oh, my glasses are ready.
Buy smart at iMart Express.
At Tronfeld, West & Durrett, every client is part of our family.
When I say the law firm is like a family, that's the way I feel about Elizabeth West. She's just like family to me.
If your client is part of your extended family, you're going to do anything for them. I think what gives me the most satisfaction about what I do is knowing that at the end of the day, I made a difference in someone's life.
It makes all the difference in the world. She's family.
Don't fight alone. Dial 804, call Jay.
Alerting you first to news happening now. Download the NBC12 Breaking News app now.
That does it for us at 6, but we are already working on news stories you'll see tonight at 11.
Nightly news is next, but your local news continues with me at 6:30 on the CW Richmond. Have a great night.
I'm Captain Zudema with a true story. A foreign exchange student came here hoping to live the American dream. Instead, he was a victim of brutal bullying. He was picked on and jumped by a group of kids and unfortunately had almost all of his teeth knocked out. Luckily for him and his family, someone told them about Virginia Victims Fund. They helped pay for some of the expenses related to his oral surgery. If you know an innocent victim of a criminal act, please tell them about virginiavictimsfund.org so they can get the help they desperately need.
Give me performance and some heated seats.
Oh, I
I'd be very interested in owning that car.
When it comes to protecting your home's interior, you cannot afford to wait any longer to get a new roof from Hanover Roofing. Hanover Roofing is a Class A contractor with the skill and experience to meet any roofing need. Give us a call at 550-7700 or visit us at hanoverroofing.com.
Tonight, prison scandal. After the escape, the corruption investigation. A dozen people on the inside placed on leave, including the man in charge, the one who showed the governor the escape route. Also, the captured inmate reveals how they practiced the escape and how many times they were nearly caught. NBC News exclusive, Chris Christie's first interview as he jumps into the race for president. After that bridge scandal and sinking poll numbers, he tells Matt Lauer how he thinks he can win. Air disaster. A military plane slams into a neighborhood and hotel overseas. Scores are dead and an urgent search for survivors who may be trapped. And point of history as a woman who has shattered so many barriers makes her biggest move yet with a generation of young girls wanting to follow in her footsteps. Nightly News begins right now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. The likelihood that heads will roll in the wake of that New York prison breakout grew today as word came down that 12 prison employees, including the superintendent, had been placed on leave. The Clinton Correctional Facility is the subject of a top-to-bottom investigation of how two killers managed to bust out. Some of the answers, however, are coming straight from the surviving escapee himself. David Sweat is said to be spilling everything, including the fact that this was not the first time they'd made it outside the prison. National correspondent Miguel Almaguer is on the story for us tonight.
Tonight, the prison top boss, his deputy, and 10 other employees are suspended from Clinton Correctional after the brazen escape here. Superintendent Steve Racet was the man who led Governor Cuomo on a tour of how the convicts broke free.
How did they do that? Chiseled the blocks out.
This is federal authorities probe an alleged heroin ring that may have helped fund the prison break. Tonight, the DA tells NBC News David Sweat claims to be the mastermind who started planning the elaborate prison break in January. He and Richard Matt never used power tools, only hacksaw blades to cut their way through prison walls and pipes. Sweat says he navigated the maze of catwalks for months, all alone. The night before their escape through this manhole, Wiley says the duo conducted a dry run, breaking out of the prison.
They did get out to that point of the village and did actually pop one of the manholes up.
But they retreated back to their cells.
If they were able to pop open a manhole cover the night before, why not escape that night?
I guess they felt they had a plan to have Joyce Mitchell pick them up in a car and drive away.
According to Wiley, they abandoned their plan to head to Mexico through West Virginia. Sweat tells investigators Matt was sick, drinking, and slowing him down.
There were occasions where he heard the helicopters. The sheriff's deputy vehicle had pulled up in the vicinity of where they were, and they were somewhat surprised. And he said Matt, I think he said Matt fell backwards and made some noise, but the sheriff's deputy didn't locate them.
Breaking into cabins like this one, Sweat says they tuned into AM radio, even changed directions as they moved towards Canada.
He probably thought he was going to make it until he came into contact with Sergeant Cook.
Sweat told investigators on several occasions he was just feet from being caught. He mentioned one incident in particular where he was on a tree stand suspended above search teams who were looking for him on the forest floor. Meantime, the union representing correction officers here says during the investigation they are asking the public not to rush to judgment as the men and women who work here continue to do their job day in and day out. Lester?
Miguel Almaguer in upstate New York tonight. Thanks. Tonight, a major force in Republican politics is shaking up the race for president. New Jersey's outspoken Governor Chris Christie says he's in, making him the 14th GOP candidate officially in the running. After that bridge scandal and sinking poll numbers, Christie, never one to shy away from blunt talk, is telling Matt Lauer exclusively in his first interview since his announcement how he plans to turn his fortunes around and win.
It's been a long journey, Governor, to this announcement. Back in 2012, a lot of your fellow Republicans really urged you to run, and you declined. And some of those Republicans now look and go, that was his moment. Do you worry that you can't capture that genie and put him back in a bottle?
No, because here's the most important thing. In 2011 and 12, I was not ready to be president. And you don't run just because you think you can win. You have to think you can win and that you're ready to do the job. And I wasn't ready, Matt.
Following Bridgegate, I saw a much quieter Chris Christie, a more reflective Chris Christie. Today, it almost seemed like a relaunch of the blunt Chris Christie of old.
There's no question that the badgering and battering that I took in the media and the stress of having something bad happen on your watch, no doubt made me more reflective. And I'm still that reflective person and more reflective now than I was in 2011 or 12.
But if that old brand of Chris Christie was the combative, straight-talking, in-your-face guy, what's the brand today?
It's that same guy, but with more wear on the tires. A little more wear on the tires, a little more wisdom. And I think that's great for anybody who's going to be president of the United States.
Some Republicans worry about your temper. Do you have the temperament to be president of the United States?
Absolutely. There have been very few times, Matt, in the course of my governorship where I've lost my temper. It's happened, but very few times.
You want to have the conversation later? I'm happy to have it, buddy. But until that time, sit down and shut up.
When you look at most of those moments, Matt, it is an absolute controlled anger. A controlled anger. I'm angry about the fact that taxpayers were being ripped off in New Jersey. I'm angry about the fact that our urban kids can't get a good education. I'm angry about those things. You're darn right I am, and I think America wants someone who's willing to fight for that, as long as that anger is controlled. And with me, it is almost all the time.
How do you think you'll stack up against those other 13 candidates?
I believe in myself, and I believe in what I have to offer the American people, and I believe that I've always been able to connect with real people. And I think if I do those three things over the course of the next 18 months, I'm going to be the next president of the United States. And if I don't, I won't.
They covered a lot of other ground, and we'll have much more of Matt's interview with Chris Christie, including behind-the-scenes access tomorrow morning on Today. Overseas now to an air disaster in Indonesia, where a military plane with more than 100 people on board, soldiers and their family members, went down in a crowded neighborhood. It slammed into homes and even a hotel. Scores of bodies have been recovered, and the search continues. NBC's Bill Neely has late details.
No one survived this, and it's not hard to see why. There's little left intact of a plane that hit a hotel, 2 houses, then the ground, before exploding in a huge fireball. Most of those on board were the wives and children of soldiers. On the ground, their distraught relatives who had just said goodbye. I lost 5 of my family, this man says. The plane crashed in the heart of Indonesia's 3rd biggest city, Medan, minutes after takeoff, trying to return to an Air Force base but falling short. The pilot asked to double back almost immediately. That means something bad had happened, he says. Exactly what isn't known, but the plane was built in America 51 years ago. Nor is it clear how many died on the ground. Several were injured as it hit a built-up area. Indonesia has a poor air safety record. There's shock and anger there at another deadly illustration of it. Bill Neely, NBC News, London.
Tonight we've reached the official deadline for a nuclear deal with Iran, but officials say they plan to extend the talks for several days amid word of significant developments. Our chief foreign affairs correspondent is at the talks in Vienna. Andrea Mitchell, what can you tell us?
Well, Lester, important developments today. Western diplomats say that the UN nuclear agency will report tomorrow that Iran has complied with a key commitment, converting most of its stockpile of nuclear fuel into material that cannot be used to make a nuclear bomb. Iran's foreign minister returned to the talks today, and he said that negotiations are at a very sensitive stage. But after Iran's supreme leader raised obstacles last week, today, President Obama sent a very tough message, saying that he will walk away from the deal if it does not prevent Iran from building a nuclear weapon. And families of Americans who were imprisoned in Iran, still are in prison there, have come here to Vienna pleading for help. Today, the president said he is pushing hard for them. It is a top priority, but it is separate from the nuclear talks. Lester?
And Andrea, we got some news on another diplomatic front a short time ago regarding Cuba. What can you tell us there?
Well, sources in Havana say, and now the U.S. government has confirmed that tomorrow both the U.S. and Cuba will announce they're ready to open embassies in each other's capitals in the next few weeks. This means that all of the diplomatic obstacles have been cleared up. It's expected Secretary Kerry will personally go to Havana to officiate when the American flag is raised there for the first time in more than 60 years. Lester.
An important crossroads. Andrea Mitchell, thank you. Back in this country, millions more Americans could take home bigger paychecks under a plan President Obama is unveiling. He wants to more than double the salary cutoff that requires employers to pay overtime. But many of those employers are saying, where's all that extra pay supposed to come from? NBC News national correspondent Peter Alexander has more.
Joseph Giragosian left his job as an assistant manager at an Illinois clothing store, in part because he says he was working up to 70 hours a week, but only getting paid for 40.
I was doing the same job as the sales associates were doing. I just wasn't getting paid for all of the hard work I had put in.
The president insists boosting overtime will help middle-class families.
That's going to give a raise to 5 million people, potentially, in this country, who really deserve it.
The proposed rule applies to salaried workers, often employed as managers, who put in more than 40 hours a week for no extra pay. Right now, those managers are only eligible for overtime if they make less than $23,660 a year. That's less than $500 a week. Under the new rule, managers earning up to $50,000 a year, nearly $1,000 a week, would be assured overtime pay. But many businesses like White Castle say there's no extra room for extra salaries.
We know it will cost us $8 to $12 million more a year. That's money we want to invest back in our people and benefits like health care, retirement benefits, profit sharing.
Some employers say they may have to cut hours rather than pay more.
There's no magic pot of money in order to pay people more money, no matter what government says.
Still, supporters argue it would put real money in people's pockets and grow the economy.
Employers have a choice. They can either pay time and a half for overtime, or they can bring on additional workers.
A heated debate over what's fair pay for hard work. Peter Alexander, NBC News, the White House.
We turn now to the money crisis sending tremors around the world, including here in the U.S. The nation of Greece plunging deeper into financial crisis after missing today's deadline to make a nearly $2 billion payment, while asking for yet another bailout from its European creditors. Here in the U.S. today, stocks managed to climb back into positive territory after fears over Greece yesterday led to the market's worst day of the year. And now, millions of American citizens are facing an economic meltdown of their own. Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory and popular getaway destination, is trying to avoid a default on its staggering debt. It would be the largest U.S. municipal bond failure in history. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez reports tonight from San Juan.
For Juan Carlos Cabrera, the desperation is piling up like the moving boxes inside his home.
It's been really hard. I'm trying to make ends meet.
The Puerto Rican economy so dire he lost his business.
You work for a lifetime to build what you have, and all of a sudden you have to start all over again.
Now his family's uprooting to Florida, joining a growing exodus to the U.S. mainland. Governor Alejandro Garcia Padilla says the island cannot pay its $72 billion in debt and is facing a financial death spiral. The unemployment rate already tops 12%, more than double the continental U.S. Because it's a commonwealth, Puerto Rico can't declare bankruptcy like Detroit did. The White House says no bailout. The crisis would also affect people outside the island. Much of Puerto Rico's debt is held by unsuspecting investors.
Millions of Americans, without even knowing it, own Puerto Rican bonds. And when they look in their bank accounts and in their 401ks, they are going to see a number that is lower than it was before.
Trying to raise money, tomorrow the government will impose a sales tax higher than any U.S. state, 11.5%, as lawmakers debate a new budget.
The problem is so big and has been going on for so long that they just don't know what to do.
So by the end of the summer, Juan Carlos Cabrera will move to the mainland, where his wife's found a new job.
It's not easy.
What was once his home, his paradise, now lost. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Tonight in the West, conditions remain dangerously dry as crews make headway against that wildfire that torched dozens of homes in Washington state. And we're getting a pretty dramatic look tonight at the path of destruction before and after images showing the neighborhood as it was, and then after, with some homes burned to the ground and others nearby left untouched. There's a lot more to tell you about here tonight, putting a face to crime, how cutting-edge technology is giving authorities a new way to get a look at suspects from old crimes. And tonight, we put it to the test. Also, she was once told that she'd never make it. But now this dancing star has achieved something that no one else has before.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes. Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthier brain function. It's the breakthrough in the supplement called Prevagen. As we age, we lose proteins that support our brain. Prevagen supplements these proteins and has been clinically shown to improve memory. It's simple and effective for support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking. Try Prevagen for yourself today.
Super Polygrip seals out more food particles so your food won't get stuck. And you can enjoy every single bite. Eat loud, live loud. Super Polygrip. Super Polygrip holds your dentures tightly in place. So you never have to hold back. Laugh loud, live loud. Super Polygrip.
Fact. Advil is not only strong, it's gentle on your body too. No wonder doctors and patients have trusted Advil for their tough pains for over 30 years. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
It may seem strange, but people really can love their laxative, especially when it's Miralax. It hydrates, eases, and softens to unblock your system naturally, so you have peace of mind from start to finish. Love your laxative, Miralax.
I'm Jerry Bell II.
And Jerry Bell III.
I'm like a big bear, and he's my little cub. This little guy is non-stop. He's always want to hang out with his friends. Gotta be prepared to sit at the edge of your seat and be ready to get up. There's no deep couch sitting. It's definitely not good for my back. This is the part I really don't like right here. What's that? It's a Swiffer wet jet. It almost feels like it's moving itself. It's kind of fun. That comes from my floor? This is Deep Couch City.
Deep Couch City.
It's official. Governor Chris Christie is in the race, and his first interview is with Matt Lauer. Tomorrow on Today, hear his plans for the campaign and why he wants to be your president. Tomorrow on Today.
When news breaks, he's there at the heart of the story. When lives change, he's there to listen.
You want your child to be able to walk outside and feel safe.
When it really matters, you can depend on him. NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
We are back now with a new state-of-the-art tool that could fundamentally change the way law enforcement tries to crack the toughest cold cases. If a suspect leaves even a drop of DNA behind, there's now a way to generate an actual sketch of their face. It's based on their genetic code. Our national correspondent Kate Snow reports.
In the past, DNA left at a crime scene was only useful if police could match that DNA to a criminal in a database. It hasn't helped find 8-year-old April Tinsley's killer. 27 years after her murder, her mom Janet is still waiting.
She'd be 35 years old, and it's like, would she be married? Would she have kids? When she was taken away, it's like, I'll never know.
Janet is hoping a new composite sketch seen here for the first time might be the break investigators have been waiting for. But here's the thing. It didn't come from a witness's memory. This sketch was produced from DNA left behind at the crime scene. It was run through a revolutionary computer program that links genetic markers with physical characteristics.
Physical traits like eye color and hair color, all of that's written in the DNA, and we're using DNA like a blueprint to find that information and predict it. Hazel eyes, dark brown hair.
So you have a 98% confidence that he has very fair skin?
Yes.
This is a genetic witness. Our algorithms are serving the role of the sketch artist, and the DNA is serving as the eyewitness.
We wanted to see for ourselves, so I drank from a water bottle and we sent it to Parabon. They didn't know it was my DNA, but processed the sample and generated a sketch.
Very fair skin, brown eyes, brown hair, few freckles, and Northern and Eastern European. Right. And then this is our image of that person.
It's kind of close.
Confession, I'm not a natural blonde.
That's actually pretty close to what my hair color would be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, without color.
So far, the technology can't determine a person's height or age, and face shape is one of the hardest traits to predict.
You didn't quite get, like, the cheekbones.
But law enforcement officials say even an imperfect sketch can help by ruling out suspects, like in April Tinsley's case.
We've got 800 and some tips and over 600 suspects. It'll be easier with this to prioritize.
Parabon is working on a dozen cold cases right now, April's mom hopes the sketch in her case will lead to an arrest.
We can say, yes, we got him for you.
Kate Snow, NBC News, Herndon, Virginia.
We're back in a moment with a backyard campout where the backyard just happens to be at the White House.
We live in a pick and choose world. Choose, choose, choose. But at bedtime, why settle for this? Enter Sleep Number. Don't miss the lowest prices of the season, going on now. Sleep IQ technology tells you how well you slept and what adjustments you can make. You like the bed soft. He's more hardcore. So your sleep goes from good to great to wow. Only the Sleep Number store. Right now, find the lowest prices of the season with the C4 Queen mattress set, only $14.99.98. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
Benny's the oldest dog in the shelter. He needed help all day, so I adopted him. When my back pain flared up, we both felt it. I tried Tylenol, but it was 6 pills a day. With Aleve, it's just 2 pills all day. Now I'm back.
Aleve, all day strong. Have you ever wondered if you can bring your pet ostrich into your hotel room? Trivago knows, but I couldn't care less. I have an emu. Hotel Trivago.
Today is the day to announce the newest big money winner at Publishers Clearinghouse, and here it is. The Prize Patrol just surprised the winner, and you can watch the winning moment at facebook.com/PCH. Go to facebook.com/PCH and you could win too.
Listen up. I'm reworking the menu. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here.
The complete balanced nutrition of great tasting Ensure, with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals. Ensure, take life in.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here.
In my knees.
But now, I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom-fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My knee pain.
Find a machine at drscholls.com.
When heartburn comes creeping up on you, fight back with Relief So Smooth. It's fast. Tums Smoothie starts dissolving the instant it touches your tongue and neutralizes stomach acid at the source. Smoothies, only from Tums.
Every auto insurance policy has a number. But not every insurance company understands the life behind it. Those who have served our nation have earned the very best service in return. USAA. We know what it means to serve. Get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
Next ET, NBC dumps Trump. But what's next for Miss USA? We go behind the crisis of the crown. Then Katy Perry versus the Nuns and our Terminator flashback. Next ET.
Tonight at 7. Then stay tuned for the inside story.
Do you truly believe that you should die for what you did to Mason?
Shaken.